When we talk about learning, we automatically think about the four walls of the classroom. And for some of us that want to do better, we think about learning on the job. But I think learning is more than that. Today's world is filled with inequalities, hunger, and a whole myriad of problems. But also, today is the best we can ever envision as mankind. This is a world where we can be whatever and whoever we want to be. This is a world where your certificate might not play a major role in what you can achieve as a person. And some would say that the people you know and the places you're opportune to be. But then as women, it is double challenge for us. We cannot downplay how women have over the years tried as much as possible to become the best version of themselves. As women, the society has always tried to stifle our becoming. That is not the major discourse for today, but we can never downplay how women are trying to be better leaders in the society. But then, it's not just about being a woman, it's also about being human. Learning knowledge is very important. We always have to, learn new things every time. And as a person, I've always tried to live my life based on 3 E's, which are education, experience, and exposure. Why do we spend 4 years, 5 years, learning a course just because we want to learn about something? And yes, education is not just about the university, it's not just the formal education, it can also be about the informal education. As individuals, as human, we need to strive to learn every time. Education is very important, and what we read, what we consume, shape us. It automatically talks about the kind of person that we have. I would love to go back to where I come from. I'm a Yoruba girl, and there's this popular indigenous song, which most of us might know, and it is Eko dara pupo, Eko lo laye ta wa yi se. Eko dara pupo, Eko lo laye ta wa yi se. Eko lo gbe ni de po giga. Ekologbe ni de pohola, debalowo henyi obiwa, edakunye kefishe towa, which loosely translates to that education is very important. Education will take you to some great height in life, and also appealing to parents that if they have the financial capacity, they should try as much as possible to sponsor us to a very high, place when it comes to education. And that is education for us. Also, there is a popular saying that I would love to note. It says that you cannot put something on nothing and expect it to stand. It's just me taking this ring and trying to put it on the hair. It can never stand. It will come crashing. And that is a real life lesson for us as human. We need to have something inside of us, because if there is nothing, how exactly do you want to stand up and say, oh yeah, I think I'm ready to now go into the world and be a global star or something? It is not possible. So every time we need to ask ourselves questions like, who am I? What do I know? What do I need to know? We need to continuously, question ourselves. And we should try as much as possible to garner knowledge, both formally and informally. To read books, you should ask yourself, what kind of books are you reading? As human, we are not just the person we are. We are a product of the people we know, the product of what we read, and our environment. It's always a case of nature and nurture. So yes, as human, it is very important for us to digest things that would be, very important to our growth in life. And then I've always noticed something, and that is very important, or that's like a gap when it comes to writers and creative. You cannot give what you don't have. When you talk to any writer or any poet or any creative, one thing that they would always say is that I'm a product of the books I have read. And then they have these mentors who are your mentors, who are your literary mentors, who are the literary icons that you read their work so many times. So that is one thing that should strike us. You can never give what you don't have. So as women, I'm challenging us. Ask yourself, who are the persons that I am reading? Who are the people I'm listening to? So if you're not yet in that position where you are reading, it's not just about your schoolwork or your course unit nights, about reading life lessons. It can just be storybooks also. There's a way that storybooks open your imagination. As a young girl, I grew up, with the aid of storybooks, it widened my imagination. I was able to travel to America. I was able to travel to England just with a book. And then I'm just a girl from Ibadan, Nigeria. So yes, that's the possibility of what we learn, what we read can actually position us for global opportunities. So I want to take us back in my year, that was in my 4th year in the university. That's a campaign poster. And then I am saying I am Karimot Odebode, and this is like the ages I was running under. That was the Trailblazer mission, and it's saying LSS 18. And that was me trying to, run for the top position of my faculty, and that was the position of the presidency. Prior to that, I have been engaged in so many community engagements in and out of my faculty. I was an active debater, had represented my faculty in different inter-university and inter-faculty debate competition. I was also currently the General Secretary of a Female Hall of Residence, which automatically means that I am part of the Student Representative Council. And I also volunteer for numerous organizations. I have been active in political campaigns in the faculty and outside the faculty. So yeah, I'm not just coming up one day to say I want to run for president, but then there is a track record of things that I've done in the faculty and also in the university. However, it sounds so easy, yeah, Karimot Odebode for president, yeah, but it's not easy. I spoke to so many people. I knocked on doors, Hall of Residence, knock on them here, my name is Karimot, can I come in, and all of those things with my volunteers. So I told them about what I wanted to achieve as a person. I campaigned and all of that. But one thing that struck me the most was that it wasn't not just about the idea. There was an idea. We all want a better society. But one thing that struck me the most was that some people were bold enough to not hide the fact that they were not going to support my candidacy based on one thing. And that was because I was a woman. I was just a woman, so why would I want to be president? And yes, I can clearly remember an article that was going around campus that time. And then it was in the heat of campaigning, it was an article for a propaganda, and then someone has tagged me a clueless, pretty feminist. Yes, my friends still taunt me to date, so they call me the pretty, clueless feminist. So in the word of this person, I was just a pretty girl. Why do I want to go for president? And then I was just a feminist who was so passionate about women and girls. So just sit yourself down. I don't think national issues should be for feminists, which is clearly wrong. We've seen how that has changed in these past years, how women are coming up to say that it is not just about women issues, it's also about national issues. We want to do more for our society. So yeah, this person said it was safe for me to not just run for a political position, I was better off clueless about my society. But then, it was an interesting moment for me. It was a moment that I was educated about certain issues. I was exposed to how people think. I got experience about certain issues. And then that was just me stepping out of my comfort zone to say, I want to be president, and I was learning on the job. So that takes us back to the importance of education. So yeah, I contested for this position, and surprisingly, that was the second time a woman was going to be contesting for president in the history of the 50 years of the faculty. The faculty was 50 years, and then that was like the second time a woman was just going to be contesting for presidency. And yes, I ran against 2 guys, and guess what? I lost the election. But then, there are major lessons that stuck in the process of campaigning and saying I want to be president. And then for me, I have learned that from that situation that you either win or you learn. There is no space for loss for me. So if I'm coming out to say I want to become something, if I don't win that situation, if I don't win that election, it's not a do or die affair for me. I learn out of that situation. So as women, we need to see that for us to position ourselves for global opportunities, there are certain situations we need to put ourselves to. And if we don't get what we want, it is just preparing us for a better position. So yes, let us just see that education surpasses the 4 walls of a classroom, and then there is this infinite knowledge that we have in today's world. You can just pick your phone and then, tap into people's knowledge and all of that thing. Education is very important. And I also want to go back to experience. There's a popular adage that says that experience is the best teacher. And let me tell you, experience is actually the best, teacher. Also, I would actually like to take you back to my days in the university, because this is like a university community. I started volunteering in my second year in the university. I was putting my time and my resources for charitable causes and developmental projects. And yes, that was me. I organized a campaign for an international organization in my university. And that major decision to put myself out there, strength, and know, oh yes, this is what this lady is very good at. I think this is what she can do best. And also, I was also called upon to represent organizations across the shore of the country. And that was the power of volunteering. That was what volunteering, did for me. As women and as human, volunteering and mentorship is very important. What are you using your time to do? Who are the people that you're learning from them? Volunteering and mentorship are very important for us to position ourselves for global opportunity. And we should realize that our becoming is tied to the very essence of other people's existence and organization. So that was me at Brussels, Belgium. I was on a panel conversation with some other young women across the nation, and that was the power of volunteering. I gave my time out, and some people felt that, oh yes, I think she can go speak with us at the European Youth Week. So that is the power of volunteering. You need to identify the people and the organization that speak the same social language as yourself. So instead of you just being a student, you should be something more than a student. Instead of you going to your room after a class, there are some things you can do. You can volunteer for organizations. You can find somebody that you really respect and say, oh yeah, I really want you to mentor me. This is the path I want to go, and I actually think I want to go. I want to tour this path. So can you mentor me? In our quest, in asking ourselves, what do I want to become? How do I, put myself out there? We trigger our success. Experience is very, very important. And as students, like I rightly said, we can position ourselves for global opportunity through volunteering and mentorship. So I'll go to my third E, which is exposure. Exposure is very important, and it is not until we travel the world that we are exposed. Ask yourself, have I toured the whole of Akure? What are the monumental places, the historical places in Akure? Have I been there in my 4, 2, 3 years of being a student of the Federal University? And we train teenagers in the heart of, debate. We train them in the heart of public speaking. And when people ask me why this project, why exactly are you passionate about using debate as a societal, as a tool for societal development? This is the Ibadan School Debate Competition, and that was our last event where we brought about 14 secondary schools together to debate after we trained them for a couple of weeks. And then I look back at my journey as a secondary school girl. I was just maybe 14 or 13-year-old girl, and then I was given an opportunity. I was given the opportunity to stand before first ladies, commissioners, important dignitaries in the state. They were sitting and I was talking, and that's like a rare moment because all of these big people, we are always at the other end. We sit to hear them and then they speak. But yeah, this is me being given the opportunity while the first lady is seated or some other important dignitaries are sitting down, and then I am talking and they are listening to me, and that's like the power of debate. Exposure. That was the opportunity I was given, and this opportunity really helped me. It boosted my self-confidence, it boosted my self-esteem, and then I wanted to do more. I want more teenagers to have that opportunity. And I want you to link this story to yourself. During your breaks, what do you use your time to do? Do you expose yourself to projects? Do you expose yourself to people? Do you expose yourself to projects that would put you on, position you for global opportunities? These are like questions we need to ask ourselves. Through the power of debate, through the power of education, experience, and exposure, I better and then position myself for global opportunities. I cannot sit in my father's house in Ibadan and say that UNICEF, ITU, we're going to come to say that, Karima, we want you to write a poem for you. But because I put myself out there, I've been able to write a lot of poems for international organizations. And this is just me saying that women, I'm sorry, I'm trying to exclude the men, but yeah, I'm a woman and I know what it means to be a woman. You can be whatever and whoever you want to be. Just note that power is not serve a la carte. You have to go out there and take it. Position yourself for knowledge. Get educated. Get experience. Do that thing that seems so hard. Get exposed to projects. Get exposed to some people. Try to learn how they think and all of those things. So I'm here to challenge you to say, take up spaces. Want to believe in yourself. Know that you can and you will. And yes, I think my time is up, but then I would love to end all of this with this very short poem from my debut poetry collection, and it is titled A Woman Has Many Names. So it is a title that you should ponder on. You are a woman. You have many names. What are the names you want them to call you? And it goes this way. A woman has many names. She's 1,001 women. Women who came before her. Women who crowned her their mouthpiece even before she was born. A woman has many names. Call yourself by the name of these women. Women who pave way for you to exist and occupy. A woman has many names. Names that linger in her mouth. Form prayers to guide her on earth. Make her open doors for her. Names that push her forward to be her. A woman has many names. And you will call her whatever she wants to be called. And she will answer to whatever she wants to be called. A woman has many names. Woman, what is your name? Thank you.